I discovered dance with my neighbor. I was living outside of Paris, and my neighbor in the same floor than the flat of my parents. She was doing dance, tap dance once a week. So once I went with her, and after I look, I say, oh, I like it. And I start doing tap dance 1 hour in 1 week. And after, what I discovered, I went on stage for the show at the end of the year with the school. And I remember when I arrived on stage, I said, oh, that's my place. I'm home. And after I saw a show of Maurice Béjart, and it was, I said, I want to do this in my life. My mother didn't like it because I was a very good student, so I was maybe, I'm gonna be doctor or whatever. And I said, no, I want to do this. And when I was young, I was doing puppetry. And I think it's something I thought maybe I'm gonna be a puppeteer. I don't know what you say in English.
Puppeteer.
Yes, and now I'm stage director, so finally, no, it was very clear for me when I see this show. It was called L'Amour du Poète, this show, and there was dance, there was theater, it was with the music of Nino Rota. There was a lot of change of characters, and it was very full of lots of things. And for me, it was revelation. And from here, I start working and never stop. It's funny because when I was a dancer, I always thought I was not a creative person. I was a good interpret, but not. I never thought I'm going to be a choreographer, or it was not in the plan. I always liked to be interpret, to work with choreographers. And the click went when I went to Barcelona. I left Paris and I went to Barcelona. And maybe the fact to change the city, to change my life, it pushed me to do more things. And then when I arrived, there was two guys who had started some little thing, and the thing already called Chicos Mambo. And when I worked with them, I said, there's something there I like. So I produced the first show. I said to them, we have to do a show, because it was like little pieces. And I said to them, I think we have to do a show. And we did the first show, was named Paris, Barcelona, Caracas, because there was a Catalan guy, a Venezuelan guy, and me, French. Very simple, Chicos Mambo. And we wanted something very direct, very simple, direct to the audience. And we did this because we were at that time working with contemporary choreographers. You work a lot, you rehearse a lot, but you don't have a lot of performances. So we wanted to do something easy, have pleasure on stage, give pleasure to the audience, very simple, very direct, use whatever you want, dance, theater, clown. And the third show in Barcelona was like, boom! And now I'm here 30 years after. It appears naturally. It was not a plan. I'm gonna, like when you're a dancer and you arrive at a certain age, you think, well, after, or I'm gonna be teacher, I'm gonna be choreographer. It was not a plan for me. The things came like smoothly, like I start in Barcelona, we did the show, I start doing choreography with other people, and people say, oh, it's great. So you you start to have confidence. You say, oh, well, let's do some choreography, and you do more and more, and after you, and of course, after the success of Chicos Mambo gave me more confidence to, and I'm old, so I can't dance in it. Oh, yes, I can dance, but I not the same, and now I'm very happy, also because my shows are getting a big success, so it's very, I'm very grateful for that. The audience say, all audience all over the world say, we like what you do, so continue. So I continue. I was very curious. I always thought we have to do a lot of things different to learn, to have experience, to know what I like, what I don't like. I started doing ballet to build my body, to construct my body as a dancer, but I knew that I will never be the Prince of Swan Lake. I'm not a ballet pure. And that's experience of life. One day I arrived home, and on the answering machine there was, Philippe, you have to go to Cannes Festival with Madonna. And I remember I listened to that message 300 times. You have to go to Madonna, and it was the 90s, so she was big. And with Nureyev, it was a TV. It was the first job I did as a dancer. It was a TV, a ballet for TV, French TV, and Nureyev was the star of the ballet. And the first time I was confronted to, because Nureyev is like a big star. But it was a little bit at the end, he started to have problems, and so it was great and sad at the same time, because you see a shining star start to fade a little bit. It was, but it was an interesting experience. I was very curious. I work in TV, I work in fashion, I was always curious to learn, and maybe all that after go out when I start choreographing, because it's like thing you keep inside, and sometimes they go out after. TUTU, I made it 10 years ago. It was a producer, friend producer, who came to me and said, would you like to do a new show with Chicos Mambo? And it was 2014, and I thought, oh, it's 20 years from the beginning of Chicos Mambo, so let's make a show like celebration of the 20 years. I wanted to keep this idea, a show about dance, for the largest audience possible, overall for people who doesn't know nothing about dance, or maybe you said, oh, no, dance is not for me, I don't have the codes, or I don't, and I am surprised. It's a huge success. So in TUTU, I put only music who have something to see with dance. Music who you were used in ballet, were used in, there's the Bolero, the Ravel, something, all has to do something with dance. I am at the first surprise of the success of that show. Every day I said, but what did I put in that show? So overall, to last so long, 10 years, it's very big for a show with no name, where nobody's famous. I was not so famous at that time, like a little show, dance with humor, and but you know, it's like this in October 2014, all the planets were in the same direction. It's magic. It's magic. Overall, today, because today everything is so quick with the phones and everybody is changing, and TUTU stays. Now this fall we're going to do a new season in Paris, 3 months in Paris. Some people, I've seen this show 25 times. It's incredible. I'm the first surprise. But also I'm very happy because, of course, when you do a huge success like this, it's very easy after to go on and do some new shows because the doors are opening easily after. And I'm happy also because TUTU has traveled around the world. In Taiwan, we've been in London in September, and London is the big place for entertainment. And I'm happy because my humor is traveling. Chinese can understand, and English can understand, and Portuguese and Spanish, Italian. Now we went to Germany for the first time. So I'm very proud that this kind of humor, this kind of show can travel. Dance is an international language, but also I was always worried if they're gonna understand my humor, because English people have a special humor. In London in September, they surprised me because they participate a lot during the show. They were like screaming during the show. When the scene it was ending, normally they applaud, and they were screaming, "Whoa!" like very happy, and that's for, normally British people are a little bit sophisticated, and maybe they had a little bit of drink before the show. I don't know, but it was a strange reaction. Also in Taiwan, it was very interesting because it's first time in Asia. I went on tour like a dancer in Chinese. I know Chinese people don't used to applaud a lot. If they stayed till the end of the show, they like it. If they don't like, they go off. They go off. And they were participating also. But maybe every audience is different. Also, every audience in a week, like in Paris, if we do every day in Paris, the audience of Tuesday is not the same of the audience of Saturday, because Saturday they go out like, let's go to the theater, like fiesta, so they more easily, they participate more. No, every audience is different, but the English, they surprised me this in September. Well, when you see the show, sometimes there's some dancers who say, "Oh, it's very easy," but when they start to work in it, they see that it's very complicated, because I ask a lot to my dancer. Of course, the base, the center of the two is always, in my show, always is dancing. You must have something, a technique of dance. But after, I ask them to be comedians. I ask them to be funny, so to be like a bit of clown, to be very expressive. There's the change of costume, very quick change costume. Also there's manipulation of object. You have so with me, you have to be prepared to do lots of things. And also very important, if you want to work with me, you have to have I don't know how you say, autodérision, you can make fun of yourself. Don't be too serious, because sometimes in TUTU, one of the few reference I put, there's a scene about Pina Bausch, and some dancers say, "Oh, no, I can't make fun of the big goddess of Pina." And I said, "Why not? For me, I don't make fun of Pina. I love Pina Bausch's work. I cried sometimes when I saw some piece of Pina. It's an homage more than." But I said, you don't want to move your head with the long hair like this, like Pina. It's very. So if you don't have self-humor, you can't make fun of yourself, you can't work with me. That's the one. And also, I need generous artists, because I need people who want to give something to the audience, not people who are looking to themselves and only dancing for themselves. My shows are very generous, and they give something to the audience. And I think in dance sometimes some artists forgot the audience. They are very on themselves, and I think you have always to give something, give your hand to the audience to help them understand your work, your project, what you want to tell. Well, from the people from culture, humor is not serious. It's like easy. I don't know. For me, it's not easy. Overall, today, the world is getting darker and harder, and people are. So to make laugh 800 persons, it's not easy. But also, it was not a plan to say, oh, I'm going to make humor in dance because there's not a lot of dance in humor. It came like because I think I'm a little bit a clown. I'm a very positive person. I always look at the glass half full, not. And yes, it's not often, because in dance it's very sacred, where you work your body, you have to get to have a technique, so there's no place for humor. And sometimes I say, no, don't be so serious. Sometimes you have to be a little bit, shake the coconut and say, hey, let's make fun. And in TUTU, to be funny, it's only I just push maybe some little bit critique about some aspect of dance, like I think, but in dance we can do everything. You can be dramatic, you can do humor. Now I have this label, I'm doing humor in dance. And I assume it and I like it. Even if Ministère de la Culture doesn't like it, I don't care. I don't need them. Yes, when I said always say humor is an arm of massive seduction. You know, if someone laughs, it relaxes. And I think the chakra is open and he can receive something. And I saw with TUTU, some people came to see TUTU, they've never been to a dance show before, or classic, or ballet, or contemporary, they never. And after, with TUTU, they go to see dance show, and but dance is, and I think TUTU helps some people to, yes, you can go to see dance, and dance is for everybody, because sometimes people feel, it's like in every part of art, in painting, in contemporary art, some people say, I don't go to see because I don't have the code. No, everybody, you see a piece of contemporary art, you like it or you don't like it. It's your emotion. You don't have to understand or to know what the artist wanted to see. It's like, and I think for the dance show but I think dance, we have something more, we give some energy to the people. When you go to theater, text theater, it's more from the audience has to do maybe intellectual work to listen to the text. It's one man from the audience who tell me that once after the show. He said, I only go to the theater to see dance because dance gives me energy. And yes, of course, the dancers live give energy to the audience. And I think that's the difference between theater, text theater, and dance. There's something energetic. There's not so much artists with comedy and dance. It's very. I have some artists in dance I love and who changed my. William Forsythe, I discovered Forsythe in the 90s in Paris, and for me I was like, what is that? Also this, it showed me that everything is possible to do on stage, because his dancers of the Frankfurt Ballet at that time, they speak, they sing, they make rap, they dance on point, they dance barefoot. And I said, whoa, 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 everything with contemporary scenography. Some artists really blow me away, and I think there's also a French artist, choreographer I like a lot. Her name is Maggie Marin. She uses a lot of theater in her creation, and I love. In humor, I'm more in people who do stand-up comedy or this kind of humor. Some artists who I love. I love this American stand-up comedy because there it's a really big thing. I love a little bit acid humor, a little bit not politically correct humor. I like when it's a little bit. I don't like in my work. I don't like provocation because I think provocation is a little bit violent, and I think you can give a message to the audience, and with humor you laugh, but maybe you laugh. There's a critique behind. So I don't like provocation. I think humor it's a better way to give your message. I always say for dancers, some dancers come to see, I said, you have to be passionate. You have to get the fire. You want to dance, and it must be a passion because it's a profession where often people say no to you. So that's why you have to keep, I want to dance, you have to keep your project and be passionate. Maybe there will be two no's, but one time there will be a yes. And for choreographers, I will say, keep always your project in mind and never change your road because someone said, oh, I prefer it's blue, oh, I prefer when it's green, oh, I prefer. Always, there's always people who want producers or directors of theaters because they have power to take your spectacle. They want to give you advice. And I think, listen. You can listen, of course, but never betray your project. You have to keep your project. I want to do this. That's what I did. I wanted to do something very accessible to all type of audiences, funny, but the dance has its exigence, is very technical, and some people say, oh, maybe you should do, no, I want to, and 30 years after, I'm still there. So listen to people. Critique is very easy. There are always people who want to critique, but I think and be sure what you want to do in your project, artistic project. Don't work for the minister, for the subvention, or and don't forget the audience. The audience is very important. We work for the audience.
Philippe, merci beaucoup.
Merci, obrigado.